Hello and welcome to F1 Now. In this video, we're going to be giving you the biggest winners and losers to the Monaco Grand Prix. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I think that we can all agree that what we all saw in Monaco was a race to forget. I can't even say that we were all watching an actual race because it looked more like a choreographed traffic control. But with that being said, there were teams and drivers who managed to take advantage and gain points from this embarrassment. So we all pretty much understood that this would be a race most likely won or definitely lost during quali, and Mercedes proved that. But the main winners coming out of this one were obviously McLaren. Now, although they would have preferred a 1-2 finish, what they got was equally good enough considering the level of racing we got. Lando put it on pole and went on to lead the race on his way to a first race win in many races. And it was a first race win for McLaren in Monaco since Hamilton did it for them. Now, the win for Lando has brought him back in touching distance to teammate Oscar in the championship. And that added confidence boost going to Spain should produce fireworks because over there we will see some good racing. For Piastri, it was still a relatively good race, not the best, but best case scenario for him was being on the podium with a chunk of points. Interestingly, I don't think he will be shaken by Lando's win or feeling gutted about the championship. Instead, he looks more like someone who has his mindset sharpened to the max and ready to break Lando's hopes again in Spain. And with that, the next race could be another in which we see them go toe to toe on the same piece of road, bumping carbon pieces of each other. Okay, the next big winner is a special one, but definitely not unique, and that is the Racing Bulls. So we all saw the Racing Bulls use the mandatory two-stop and the nature of the track to their benefit by parking the bus to let one another gain a pit stop window. And it worked because it meant both cars were able to remain in points positions, solidifying Hajar's highest points finish in Formula 1. But interestingly, Williams did the exact same thing, and for some reason it rubbed me off the wrong way. Williams also had the same outcome with a double points finish. Now, when Williams did the same as VCarb, that's when the irritation kicked in for me because it just didn't feel like racing then. It wasn't authentic, it was just a complete turn-off. But I don't know, maybe you guys can elaborate as to why we congratulated the Racing Bulls but were annoyed by Williams. Next on the winners list would have to be Ferrari. Ferrari came into this one expecting a bad weekend with the car not suited to the track, but it turned out to be one of their best weekends with Leclerc leading all practice sessions and arguably should have won the race had he had time to do a second run in Q3, but still he managed to get second, and Lewis was able to get all but one of the positions he lost from his penalty. So definitely a lot of good points to have Ferrari feeling hopeful about the next race in Spain. Okay, so back to the race. Before anything, my biggest losers here will have to be Formula 1 and Monaco Grand Prix. I think we have seen enough of the Monaco Grand Prix to all agree that as iconic and historic as it is to Formula 1, it just has no place in its future. Yes, this track is way past its sell-by date and it's hard to justify it being included in the calendar moving on. We all thought that a mandatory two-stop might change things and bring a bit of jeopardy, but that wasn't the case. We have known for the longest time that Monaco is a quali race, but for it to be also about pit stops and not actual wheel-to-wheel racing is honestly a miss for Formula 1. You can't have a race that has a nature which allows drivers to park the bus to let teammates build a pit stop gap. That's not racing. Nothing can be done in this track to improve the racing, which ultimately means it has to go, as hard as that sounds. Now, besides the Grand Prix itself being a loser, the one notable on-track loser for this one will also have to be Mercedes. Mercedes were looking decent in the practice sessions, but it all came undone in quali, with an Antonelli crash in Q1 and Russell having car problems in Q2, and that sealed their fate for the race. So no points, and the first time this season Russell finishes outside of the points. But you can't completely blame it on them because them not having The opportunity to move up the field in the race still goes back to the track being the problem. Now that is it for the biggest winners and losers to the Monaco Grand Prix. Do you guys and girls think the Monaco Grand Prix should stay or get dropped? So with that, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Once again, thank you and bye for now.